Shalom Makim Wagwaf. First and foremost, I want to start by saying Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, call Loyim La Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, Bashim Rakakwadash. Double honors to my teachers, the elder apostles of the great millstone, who well, peace and salutations to all the fellow laborers of the hopeful elect tabernacle of David, scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, coming back with another lesson. And this is going to be based on this video. And this is from Lisa Haven. And you see the title on the screen. You must see this memo sent to Biden. They label you enemy number one, and they intend to eradicate religion. And we already know, this is the beast trying to target, any person, any individual that's going against the grain. They're not buying into Esau's narrative. They're not going along with their new world order in which they're trying to get the ball rolling for. And people that are standing upon their religious principles are the main people that are basically holding up the process and them trying to get this new world order rolling. So they want to eradicate religious worship altogether. And this is pretty much prophecy being fulfilled, because it even tells you about how um this this beast, which America is a beast within itself. When you go into Revelation, the 13th chapter, it talks about how this beast shall speak. Let me go to it real quick. I don't want to butcher it up. Let's just go straight to it. This Revelation 13 and 11. It says, "And I beheld another beast coming out of the earth, and he had two horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon." All right, and this beast coming out of the earth, this is talking about America. All right, Babylon the Great. And the two horns like a lamb represents the two political parties, that formulates, the political structure of Babylon, just like the ancient Roman Empire, in which they had a two-party system. You had the plebeians and the patricians. All right, one represented the patriarchal hierarchy of the Roman Republic, and you had the other side that represented the common people. All right, but anyway, so they had a two-party system, and those were two political powers. And it says, "And like a lamb," which we know a lamb represents, um, peace or harmlessness. But yet, he's speaking as a dragon, and that dragon. All right, when the brothers and the elder apostles go into it, basically, he spake as a dragon, and that goes into how he would come down with force and pen harsh legislation and laws, to take away, your rights and your freedoms. All right, and that goes back to Draco, all right, which was an Athenian lawmaker. All right, and that's what dealing with Joe Biden. They call him Beijing Biden. Within the first week of office, he signed over 30 executive orders. All right, and when you sign that many executive orders, you're enabling yourself, according to the structure, the power structure, for you to become a dictator. And that's what we're starting to see, with this guy Biden. And this is what you Negroes, or you simple as Negroes and Hispanics and natives that were out there happy that Trump got put out of there. And so you were happy, So now that you got your savior, this is what you have to deal with now. All right, more restriction, more liberties and freedom snatched from you. All right, they're finna take away, self-sufficiency. They're slowly but surely already doing that. All right, using this pandemic crisis, to make sure they destroy the middle class, so that basically it'll be no in between, and you won't own anything. You won't be able to have your own sovereignty. You won't be self-sufficient. That's why they're developing that welfare dependency state based on universal basic income. That's what these stimulus bills that they keep passing. That's what this is all about. So anyway, when you look up the horns, and the elder Yashawamba, have brought this out. Horns represents power or strength, but it can also represent deliverance. And the word for horns is in the Greek is karas, and it says a horn of animals. Says since animals, especially bulls, defend themselves with their horns, the horn with the Hebrews and other nations is a symbol of strength and courage, and used as such in a variety of phrases. A mighty and valiant helper, the author of deliverance of the Messiah. And see, right now Esau's trying to play the role of a God and a Messiah. And what is he? How is he doing that? Well, first and foremost, with their whole, uh, uh, global reset, their great reset, you know, or the Build Back Better plan that's basically disguised as, the Great Reset plan that the elites got going, the globalist elite. But basically what they're trying to do is they're trying to pretend like they're trying to save humanity from humanity itself. All right. So what are they doing? They're saying that we need to save humanity from global pollution. And they're and they came up with a pseudoscientific theory called climate change, and basically are blaming the activity of men on this particular theory. So they're blaming humanity for the pollution of the earth instead of taking their own accountability, holding themselves responsible due to their destructive technology that's actually causing more pollution in the earth. You know, so that's what they're doing. Um, they're saying we need to save humanity from starvation. So let's buy up all these different farmlands. Let's get rid of the animals. Let's get rid of self-sufficient farmers. That's out there producing, and growing food. Harvesting, fruits and vegetables, and let's use it to formalize genetically modified, uh, 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 you know, 3D printed fruit, vegetables, meat. So this is their way of playing God and Savior to the people. All right. This is a counterfeit artificial salvation that the beast is creating, and those who are on board that's worshiping this image, they're gonna be all they basically they're gonna be given um I guess privilege in their world to be able to have normalcy, which is not going to be normal because your life is going to be taken over by their technocracy, where you ain't going to have any freedom of choice, freedom of speech. You're going to be under 24/7 surveillance. You're going to be monitored, tracked. You're not going to have any privacy. So that's what's going on. That's why they want to get rid of religious worship. And the major threat, really, they're trying to do that because they're trying to counter this word, this truth that's been going forth, that's resulted in a great awakening throughout the four corners of the earth, where you got Israelites all over waking up to the knowledge of the truth. So that's the main thing they want to stop. All right. So this is the new world order being kicked in effect right now, man. Another example. We want to save humanity from these different viruses and funguses different life-threatening illnesses. We want to save you from that. So, we're going to make sure that we provide a medical system, for people to rely upon, and that being what their witchcraft or pharmakia. Okay, basically telling you that they heal. All right, instead of the Most High. So, you know, it doesn't surprise me that they're getting ready to clamp down, and they're using Biden to do so. See, what was happening is Biden is being used to basically implement that Marxist socialist setup, which is originated in the well the during the downfall of the Soviet Union, when you had the Russian Bolshevik Revolution. All right, and the Chinese implemented that same system. Okay, and just to go into that, um when you look into Bolshevism, it's basically a revolutionary Marxist current of political thought, and a totalitarian political regime that's associated with the formation of a rigidly centralized, cohesive, and disciplined party of social revolution. All right, focused on overthrowing the existing capitalist state system, seizing power, and establishing the dictatorship of a proletariat. Okay, and this all happened during the turn of the 20th century in Russia. Okay, and this was during the time of Joseph Stalin. All right, and pretty much, he got elected to the Bolshevik Central Committee in 1917, and under his dictatorship, they used the Bolsheviks to seize power, man, and they pretty much got rid of all the different Orthodox Christians that were there. Matter of fact, because I got this pulled up. You type in Google, it says Bolshevik Revolution against religion. It says during the first 5 years of Soviet power, the Bolsheviks executed 28 Russian Orthodox bishops and over 1,200 Russian Orthodox priests. Many others were imprisoned or exiled. Believers were harassed and persecuted. And we've been telling y'all that a persecution is gonna, come back, and they're gonna definitely persecute the men of the Lord. All right, we're gonna be harassed, we're gonna be demonized, and they're setting the stage for that right now. They're trying to attack, what they call um, a domestic terrorists, radical extremists. They're going after the so-called white conservative Christians right now. But we already know that we're right. We're next in line, man. They're gonna go through them to basically get to us. Okay. It says most seminaries were closed, and the publication of most religious material was prohibited. Okay. So that's what took place. You see. Um, Let me jump down, and it says, when was religion banned in the USSR? It says in Stalin's purges of 1936 and 1937, tens of thousands of clergy were rounded up and shot. Under uh, Khrushchev, it became illegal to teach religion to your own children. From 1917 to the perestroika period of the 1980s, the more religion persisted, the more the Soviets would seek new and inventive ways to eradicate that. All right. So that's what you see happening right now with them giving Biden this memo to eradicate religion. This is them trying to impose, that Marxist socialist ideology and system into the country. You see? And it's not a coincidence that Biden he's connected with China. Not at all. And if you look at the three banners, in his name, Biden. Let's go there real quick. three red banners, understand what that actually represent. Which, of course, through these fact checking big tech backed demonic sites, they're gonna use plausible deniability based on their bias, agenda, and they're gonna say that it's false. But this is when you look into it, the three red banners in Biden, it actually goes back to a ideological slogan based on Chinese socialism. You see, it says that right here. It says three red banners was an ideological slogan in the late 1950s, which called on the Chinese people to build a socialist state. All right, and that's what they're trying to do, man. You see, so you know it's all coming to fruition, man. And this is the beast pretty much trying to get rid of religious worship because he wants you to worship him. All right, that's what this devil is doing. He wants you to worship him, like it tells you in Second Thessalonians, the second chapter, man. He exalts himself above all that is called God, so that he's sitting in the temple of the Most High, showing himself that he is the Most High. You see? And then it says back in Revelation 13 and 12, it says, and he exercised of all the power of the first beast before him. That's talking about the Roman Empire. It says, and cause of the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed, and he doeth great wonders, so that he make the fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men. He has the ability to shoot missiles, all right, upon regions, countries, turn them into a desolate wilderness. All right. It says, and he deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had the power to do in the sight of the beast. All right, and those miracles is pseudo. They're pseudo miracles, man. He has the ability to clone food. All right, he's gonna try to put a device into you. It's gonna merge you with machine and make you a cyborg. You got Elon Musk. He put a damn chip in a monkey and got a damn monkey playing video games. You see? So this is what they're intending to do with humanity. You see? It says, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast which had the wound by a sword and did live. And this is the image that's being constructed. Okay? This whole setup, man, of lawlessness, all right, democracy, to his medical system, which basically is just a commemoration of the ancient Greco-Roman idols, that the Greeks and Romans worshipped in the name of medicine. Okay, they got the staff and snake symbol of Asclepian. That's the symbol of their medical field. The World Health Organization. That's all part of the image. It all goes back to Greece and Rome. You see, the fashion of this world, which goes back to Rome. A lot of pedophilia, homosexuality, lesbianism. You got transgenderism. Hey, Biden is making it a safe haven for all that, man. He's writing even more legislation to protect that lifestyle, showing you that he's the man of sin. All right, the border of wickedness, man, the devil, Satan. It says, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. All right, and we had to undergo this during the Babylonian Empire under Nebuchadnezzar. We had to undergo this through Antiochus Epiphanes, you know, and different other times in history. Okay, so anyway, I done went 20 minutes without even showing the video, but I'm gonna actually just show the video now, and just listen for maybe just a couple minutes, and she's gonna basically show you the documentation, that there was definitely a memo sent to this guy. And we already know they're trying to get rid of all means to be able to um I'm trying to think of the term. Basically they're trying to silence, anybody that goes against the grain, that goes against the agenda. And it's mainly from people, who have a religious background, or religious belief. Okay. So without further ado, let's play the video.
Around this document right here. This document is a memo that was written by the secular Democrats of the United States of America. And this memo was given to Joe Biden and Kamala Harris to start reading and basically implementing, because you see, the secular Democrats of America is the biggest voting base of the Democratic Party and of Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. So evidently, they're going to take this kind of memo very serious, especially when such a massive block of voters, of their voters, are backing it. But let me tell you what's inside this report. And it's really going to drop your jaw to the floor. But inside of this report, it labels you and I, Christian nationalist patriots, as enemy number one to the country, the number one national security threat. And it makes the
And you already know the Hebrew Israelites are on that list as well. That's pursuant to the Project Megiddo list. Okay, we're definitely enemies of the state, based on what we teach. All right, because we preach Yahweh Shai, who's the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords. We preach that Yahweh Shai is coming back to claim rulership on the planet Earth, and that message in itself is a threat to this devil. All right, the beast. All right, the super rich elite. All right, so what we teach is what they would deem as radical. All right, and we're in a time of universal deceit. So when you speak the truth, and you speak this word, that's going to be counted as a revolutionary act. I forget who actually said that. It might have been George Orwell that said it. But we in that time, man. It's going to be illegal for you to speak the truth, as is written in Amos 5 and what was that 10. That they hate him that rebuketh in the gate, and they abhor him that speaketh uprightly. Yeah, especially Esau, man. It tells you that in Isaiah 29 and 21, they're going to make a man an offender for a word, you know? And really that's to set a snare for those who rebuke in the gate, to turn aside the just for a thing of not. All right. So they're already putting in the place in the form of legislation. They're framing mischief by law. They're implementing unrighteous decrees. They're declaring unrighteous decrees to take away the right of his people, man. You see? And real quick, to show that really we're enemy number one. Let's go to John 17 and start at 13. And it says, and this is Yahweh Shai speaking. It says, and now come I to thee, and these things I speak in the world, that they might have joy. It's like that they might have my joy fulfilled in themselves. I have given them thy word, and the world have hated them, because they are not of the world, even as I am not of the world. You see? So the Lord gave us this word through the Spirit, the Holy Spirit. We understand these scriptures. We understand prophecy. The Lord gave us the testimony. What was that? Isaiah the 8th chapter, and around the 16th verse. You know, seal the testimony, and bind the law, bound the testimony, seal my law among my disciples. So the Lord had given us His word, and now that we proclaim it boldly, the world hates us. because it actually condemns this world. We testify of this world, the works in, because they're evil. That's why they hate the light, and neither will they come into the light lest their deeds be reproved. And that's talking about our people. All right, these wicked jakes out there that still want to wander after the beast and because they envy their oppressor, man. So they rather follow his way. So they hate us and follow this world. All right, because hey, Esau, he's the god of this world. So if you worship Esau, you're gonna hate this truth. You're gonna hate our message. All right, because we're not of this world, man, and the Lord is not of this world, and that's why you have this the spirit of anti-Messiah on the rise in this world. It's totally increasing. It says, "I pray not thou that thou shouldest take them out of the world, but that thou shouldest keep them from the evil." And meaning Yahweh Shai is praying that the Heavenly Father protect us, from the devil, man, from the wicked one. Because we know that this devil is going to definitely come for our necks. Okay, but the Lord he's praying for us. And then yesterday, me and the Akim, we had did a lesson, going into how the Lord's going to miraculously preserve us unto the deliverance. You know, so keep that in mind that the Lord's going to protect us, because we know that we got to be persecuted, but that's just to try our faith. All right, how else are we going to be tried unto fine gold? The Lord's going to put us through the purifier, that fiery furnace of affliction. All right, we're going to be tried and made white. So anyway, let's go from there. Let's go to 1 John 4, and it says, I'll start at the top. It says, "Beloved, believe not every spirit, but try the spirits whether they are of the Most High, because many false prophets are going out into the world, and those false prophets are set up by the spiritual demon Satan. They're all counterfeits. All right, they're ministers of Satan that are transformed into the ministers of light, and they're here to really push the agenda of the devil. But they're acting like they're for the Most High, leading a lot of our people to destruction. All right, you got TD fakes out there. You got Creflo Dollar. Those secular mega church pastors. False prophets out there that took the bag. Guys like Johanna that's telling you to take the jab. They're telling you that the chip is not the mark of the beast. Stop believing in these conspiracy theories. Hey, he's pushing the same narrative that Esau's pushing, man. So that's how you know these are false prophets. Same thing with Nate and the IUIC. All right, there's going to be many more people like this, man. People of influence, basically. They're all out there, man. It says, "Hereby know ye the spirit of the Most High, and every spirit that confesseth that Yahweh Shai, Hamashiach, is coming in the flesh is of the Most High. And every spirit that confesseth not that Yahweh Shai, Hamashiach, is come in the flesh is not of the Most High. And this is the spirit of anti-Messiah, whereof you have heard that it should come, and even now already it is in the world." And not only you not confessing that Yahweh Shai did come in the flesh 2,000 years ago, but also if you are opposed of his doctrine, all right, because he comes in the volume of the book, it is written of him to do the will. So if you're in opposition of the doctrine, in which us at Great Millstone we have that doctrine, then you're in the spirit of anti-Messiah. Okay, you're against the will of the Heavenly Father being done. Because Yahweh Shai is coming back to turn everything that was turned upside down. He's going to make it. He's going to turn it right side up. He's going to establish order. He's coming back to bring a new heaven and a new earth wherein dwell righteousness. And those of our people that don't want that to come, you're an anti-Messiah. And that's our people that are in this world currently, man. That's worshiping these false idols and these false religions. Or you're down with this system. You're down with Biden. You're down with Kamala. All right, you down with this whole socialist Marxist ideology? You're down with the LGBT crowd. You're with Black Lives Matter. You're an anti-Messiah, man. because these things will not be permitted in the kingdom of heaven, which is going to be right here on the earth. So majority of the world is going to be against this message that we're speaking. Okay, and they're going to outlaw what we're saying pretty soon. They're going to make it illegal. All right, and that's when there's going to be a famine of the word. It says, "You are of the Most High, little children, and have overcome them, because greater is He that is in you than he that is in the world. They are of the world, therefore speak they of the world, and the world heareth them." All right. So if you speak of this world, like the Tyler Perrys, all right, the TD Jakes, all right, Bill Russell and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, are all these men of influence. They speak of this world, man. All right, these secular pastors, David Lynn, TD Fakes, the world is gonna listen to you because you're of this world. You got a 501c3. You got to speak of this world. So the world is going to listen to you. It says, "We are of the Most High. He that knoweth the Most High heareth us." All right. So if you know the Most High, you know the truth. You're listening to us, you brothers and you sisters that listen and hear Great Millstone. You're of the Most High. It says, "He that is not of the Most High heareth not us." They're not going to listen. Hereby we know the spirit of truth and the spirit of error, meaning the spirit of deception. Those of our people that are given to the strong delusion by the spiritual demon Satan, they're in the spirit of error. So they're going to come against this word. And those are the same jakes that were in that same spirit going back to the Greeks. When they consented to Antiochus Epiphanes for everybody to abandon their religion and basically serve his God and his idols, and basically to practice, his satanic customs that goes against the laws of the Most High. All right, this is that same thing coming back once again. This dude Biden might be Antiochus Epiphanes or Antiochus Epiphanes reincarnated, man. Because what happened? He tried to get rid of our worship, man. Let's get that because I already got it pulled up. I was like, you know what? Let me actually go into that. And this is what happened. All right, going back to the time of the Hellenist period. This is First Maccabees 1, and starting at verse 41, and it says, "Moreover, King Antiochus Epiphanes wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people." And the fact that they're trying to get rid of all religious worship, they're pretty much trying to get people to become one, where it's going to be just a one world religion, where basically you're worshiping them, in which they already got a godhead set up. They have a technocracy. Okay, they're going to put a mark into you so they can have control over your thoughts, over your mental. They're going to control your buying and selling. They're going to control what you can eat, what you can buy, when you can buy it. Control over everything, man. That's what the whole Great Reset is all about. All right, they want your soul. All right, it says, "And everyone should leave his laws." All right, stop following your religion. So all the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the king. Yea, many also of the Israelites consented to his religion and sacrificed unto idols and profaned the Sabbath. So you had wicked Israelites who thought it would be more convenient, instead of standing stiffly and dying on principle, for their heritage, for the covenant that the Lord made with their fathers, man, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. You know, they was like, what, it would be less troublesome if we just went ahead and stop keeping the commandments, stop keeping the law, stop calling ourselves Israelites, and let's just be a Greek. You see, it says, "For the king had sent letters by messengers unto Jerusalem and the cities of Judah that they should follow the strange laws of the land and forbid burnt offerings and sacrifice and drink offerings in the temple, and that they should profane the Sabbaths and festival days and pollute the sanctuary in the holy people. And this is him trying to magnify himself over the Most High. You see, and this was prophesied in Daniel, Daniel 11 chapter, talking about the king of the south. Let's go there real quick. Go to Daniel 11 and I think 11 and 35. He was talking about the king of the north, if I'm not mistaken, because the Seleucid Empire they had jurisdiction over Syria, but they tried to expand down to the south, down in Egypt, which is why they had these continual wars, with the Ptolemies. But this is Daniel 11, and I'll start at verse 31, and this is talking about the abomination of desolation, in which the Maccabees further expounds on that history. All right, Daniel 11 and 31. It says, "And arms shall stand on his part, and they shall pollute the sanctuary of strength, and shall take away the daily sacrifice, and they shall place the abomination that maketh desolate." And I just read that in Maccabees. "And such as do wickedly against the covenant shall he corrupt by flatteries." And he had wicked Israelite men that consented to leaving off from the covenant of the Most High, and they were being used to seduce Jake to go ahead and start practicing Hellenism, man. You had a lot of wicked sellouts, men that had influence in Israel, and they was uh, uh, seducing Jake to go ahead and make that agreement with the heathen and start doing what they did. It says, "But the people that do know their God shall be strong and do exploits." You had those who didn't consent, and they followed the Maccabees, man. Matthias, he had 5 sons, and one of them being Judas Maccabees. You know, you had Jason, all right, and they actually opposed, what Antiochus was doing, and they formed an army. It says, "And they that understand among the people shall instruct many, yet they shall fall by the sword." In those battles, they were being put to death. You had at one point they had formed an army because those of our people that want to worship the Most High and keep the commandments, they fled and they went into these different secret locations to try to practice the law. They were circumcising their sons. They were keeping the Sabbath, and these devils made it a thing to go and try to make war with us on the Sabbath day. And they went into they found a secret location where you had brothers and sisters um basically dwelling away from them, and they went and they slaughtered 1,000 of them, man, on the Sabbath day, and they knew that our people wasn't gonna fight back. It says, "And by flame and by captivity and by spoil many days," so they took our people captive, our women and children. All right. It says, "And when they shall fall, they shall be hoping with a little help," and that's talking about the Maccabees, and their armies that they formed. It says, "But many shall cleave to them with flatteries, and some of them of understanding shall fall to try them and to purge." See that? So there was a purge that happened. It was a lot of wicked Israelites that the Maccabees brothers were putting out, man. It says, "And to make them white even to the time of the end, because it is for a time appointed. And the king shall do according to his will, and he shall exalt himself and magnify himself above every god, and shall speak marvelous things against the God of gods, and shall prosper till the indignation be accomplished, for that is determined shall be done. And this is talking about Antiochus or Antiochus Epiphanes. All right, so going back to our Maccabees, that's exactly what was going on. All right, it says back in verse 47, it says, and set up altars and groves and chapels of idols and sacrifice swine's flesh and unclean beasts, which is unlawful, is unclean, right? The Lord told us not to eat of their carcass, nor sacrifice it. It says that they should also leave their children uncircumcised and make their souls abominable with all manner of uncleanness and profanation, to the end they might forget the law and change all the ordinances. All right, and that's what this devil did. He changed the times and in the ordinances, man. And the prophecy in Daniel said that he would do that. You see, and whosoever would not do according to the commandment of the king, he said he should die. All right. Now, let's go to the second chapter in Maccabees, and I want to read it in the GNT, the Good News Translation. This is dealing with Mattathias. It's like I said, Mattathias. Um, let's go to here we go. This is I'm gonna start at verse 15. It says, "Then the king's officials who were forcing the people to turn from the Most High came to the town of Moduin to force the people there to offer pagan sacrifices. Many of the Israelites came to meet them, including Mattathias and his sons. The king's officials said to Mattathias, 'You are a respected leader in this town, and you have the support of your sons and relatives. Why not be the first one here to do what the king has commanded? All the Gentiles, the people of Judea, and all the people left in Jerusalem have already done so. If you do, you and your sons will be honored with the title of friends of the king, and you will be rewarded with silver and gold and many gifts.'" So he tried to bribe him, tried to get him to basically sell out and sell his people out. And you got a lot of wicked Israelites, celebrities and entertainers, you know, they all then took their share of bribes and gifts, and now they're pushing the agenda forward of the New World Order, man. They starting off right now with getting you to try to take that damn jab, man. And then ultimately they're going to be used to also seduce Jake into taking the chip. So continuing on, it says, Mattathias answered in a loud voice, "I don't care if every Gentile in his empire has obeyed the king and yielded to the command to abandon the religion of his ancestors." And this what they're trying to work on right now to get us to abandon, our worship, our faith, by trying to make it illegal. It says, "My children, my relatives, and I will continue to keep the covenant that the Most High made with our ancestors. With the Most High's help, we will never abandon his law or disobey his commands. We will not obey the king's decree, and we will not change our way of worship in the least." And that's boldness. That's he was being courageous, man. You see? So hey, we got to be in that same mindset. But of course, we can't resist the power as well. We can't try to, mount up with weapons and fight against this beast. We got to let the Lord deal, because the Lord ultimately is gonna, put that fatal blow in the head of the beast. All right, he's gonna wound the head of Satan, man. All right, the Lord already has dominion. He already has the victory over Satan, man. All right, and this devil, he thinks that he's gonna, accomplish that. But you're not going to be able to suppress this word from coming out, and you also are not going to stop the Lord's men. You see. So anyway, let me X out of that. Let me X out of that. Now I had this commentary, and I believe this is Matthew Henry's commentary dealing with Daniel 11. And jumping down to the 36th verse, which I read, this is what it says. It says, he grew very proud, insolent, and it's dealing with Antiochus or Antiochus Epiphanes. He grew very proud, insolent, and profane, and being puffed up with his conquests, bade defiance to heaven, and trampled upon everything that was sacred. And here some think begins a prophecy of the anti-Messiah and the papal kingdom. It is plain that St. Paul in his prophecy of the rise and reign of the man of sin or the man of lawlessness, in which they're trying to basically create a world where there will be no morality. All right, so that means the laws of the Bible, that's null and void. That's outlawed. That's what this man is trying to set up in this current world, this current society, showing you that he's the man of sin, like it tells you in Second Thessalonians, man. Okay, the son of perdition, the man of sin, is being revealed. It says alludes to this Second Thessalonians 2:4, which shows that Antiochus was a type and figure of that enemy, as Babylon also was. But this being joined in a continued discourse with the foregoing prophecies concerning Antiochus, to me it seems probably that it principally refers to him, and and in him had its primary accomplishment and has reference to the other only by way of accommodation. He shall impiously dishonor the God of Israel, the only living and true God, called here the God of gods. He shall, in defiance of him and his authority, do according to his will against his people and his holy religion. He shall exalt himself above him, as Sennacherib, king of Syria, did, and shall speak marvelous things against him and against his laws and institutions. All right, and that's what they're doing now. You see, they're gonna come against these different groups. They already got us on the Southern Poverty Law Center. All right, as hate groups, and that's going against our organizations, man. It says this was fulfilled when Antiochus forbade sacrifices to be offered in the Most High's temple and ordered the Sabbaths to be profaned, the sanctuary and the holy people to be polluted, to the end that they might forget the law and change all the ordinances and upon his pain of death. All right, and they're making it law for you, that at some point you're gonna have to take this jab. It's gonna be mandatory. If you don't do it, then your God-given rights, your human right, will be taken from you. You see, and they want you to be polluted. Hey, you're the temple, so you consent to them putting that whatever that shit that they have in these jabs into you. Your temple is being polluted. They're trying to make you abominable, man. So this is that same devil coming back in his lot, man. It says he shall proudly put contempt upon all other gods, shall magnify himself above every god, even the gods of the nations. Antiochus wrote to his own kingdom that everyone should leave the gods he had worshipped and worship such as he ordered, contrary to the practice of all the conquerors that went before him. It says, and all the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the king, fond as they were of their gods, they did not think them worth suffering for, but their gods being idols, it was all alike to them what gods they worshipped. Antiochus did not regard any god, but magnified himself above all. All right, and let's go to real quick Ezekiel 28, and it says, the word of the Lord came again unto me, saying, Son of man, say unto the prince of Tyrus, thus saith the Lord God, because thine heart is lifted up, and thou hast said, I am a God, I sit in the seat of the Most High God in the midst of the seas, yet thou art a man and not the Most High. Thou, uh, though thou set thine heart as the heart of the Most High. All right, and that's Esau's trying to exalt himself as the Most High. All right, Second Thessalonians 2 and 3. And it says, let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition, who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called the Most High, or that is worshipped, so that he, as the Most High, saith in the temple of the Most High, showing himself that he is the Most High. All right, this devil kept doing that, man. You see, and that's why the Lord's going to come back and subdue him, because this man, he didn't magnify himself, he didn't build himself up with all his power that he has, because he has the power of deception. He got that mastered. All right, he has the power to wage war. He has the power of the sword. He got that mastered. You know, he has a pseudo miraculous technology. All right, he's getting that mastered as we speak. Okay, he wants to put microchips and everything so he can have the all his data into a big ass international interface, so he can control it all. So he's trying to be like the most. He's trying to control the capacity levels of the earth, but yet he's trying to make everybody one. He's trying to reduce the population, and then the remaining, they will all be, one people, but under his control. And that's Habakkuk, the second chapter, man. He heapeth unto himself all people, you know. So this man is showing himself, man. He is quite clear. All right, it says, remember ye not that when I was yet with you, I told you these things, and ye know that, and you know what withholdeth that he might be revealed in his time. For the mystery of iniquity doeth already work. Only he who now letteth will let until he be taken out of the way. And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. And that in this devil right now, he's trying to combat. He's trying to oppose the spirit of the Lord's mouth. He thinking he's going to be able to put a muzzle on the spirit of the Lord's mouth, but that's not going to work. That's not going to pan well for him. And that's why the Lord is going to come and destroy him with the brightness of his coming. He said when he comes, he will not meet you as a man. You're going to be totally exposed when the Lord comes back. All right? And he's going to destroy your ass limb for limb. You're going to try to fight. The Lord's going to put it in you to try to fight him. And the Lord's going to just prevail. He's going to walk right through you. He's going to turn this destroying mountain into a burnt mountain. It says, even he whose coming is after the working of Satan with all power, signs, and lying wonders. And that's how he's been coming with it, man. His operation is through the spiritual demon Satan with all power and signs and lying wonders, man. Is pseudo miracles. He's gonna try to fake heal you by putting a device in your brain. All right. So that's what it is, man. He got the power to manipulate weather with his weather modification technology, the HARP. He got the Project Blue Beam, where he can simulate a so-called alien invasion, man. You see? So he has to be put to a stop. Because right now the world, because of this power that he has, they're wondering after him. But then you're also going to have those, who stand firm on their religion, which the gods of the nations are idols. But you're going to have some of these heathens that's going to put up a fight against this devil too. So you're going to have basically a religious war on his hands, and that can get real ugly. You see. But the hell with their religion. You come against the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, you got a real problem on your hands. All right. But hey, we're bracing ourselves because it tells us in second Ezra 16th chapter is going to be an insurrection against those that fear the Lord. They're going to have their little army, their little floods of men to try to take down, the prophets. You know, the moment you do that, like it tells us in Isaiah 59, the Lord's going to lift up that standard. All right. And you're going to be reminded that you're just a man. You're not the Most High. So anyway, there's a lot more scriptures that, I would have liked to bring out, but, I've went a long ass time, but, I thought this was, interesting, and it sparked me to do a lesson, man. And, hey, we are enemies. We've been labeled enemy. And really, since our inception, we've been enemies with Esau. All right, so going back to the garden, man, the Lord said He would put enmity between, thy seed and the seed of the woman. So even to this day, we're going to remain enemies, and especially us coming back into our rightful position, as being the sons and daughters of the Most High, and coming back to our heritage and worshiping the Most High and coming back to obedience. That's the one of the biggest threats ever to this man. Because once we come back, once we return to the Heavenly Father, the Most High is going to defend us and take this man down. And that's what this man is trying to hang on to his power structure. He's trying to hang on to the rulership. All right, and that's why Yahushua is going to have to come back and deliver us. Okay, he's going to come back and judge and make war, and he's going to smite these nations and rule them with a rod of iron. That's what these nations don't want to hear. All right, under Biden's administration, hearing that they're gonna come for you. All right, but hey, hey, be of good cheer, man. We're gonna go through the tribulation. Lord's willing, we of the elect, we're gonna make it through that tribulation. We're gonna be made white and tried. Peter said it in First Peter the fourth chapter. Don't think it's strange the fiery trial that is to try you. All right. Matter of fact, let me get that, because we get persecuted. It's gonna be for righteousness' sake. First Peter 4:12 says, "Beloved, thinking not strange concerning the fiery trial which is to try you, as though some strange thing happened unto you, but rejoice in as much as you are partakers of a Mashiach sufferings, that when his glory shall be revealed, you may be glad also with exceeding joy. If you be reproached for the name of a Mashiach, Yahushai, happy are ye, for the spirit of glory and the most high power resteth upon you. In their part he is evil spoken of, but on your part he is glorified. But let none of you suffer as a murderer, or as a thief, or as an evildoer, or as a busybody in other men's matters. Yet if any man suffer as a follower of the anointed, let him not be ashamed, but let him glorify the Most High on his behalf." And that's what we're going to do, Lord willing, man. We're going to stand on the Lord's behalf. We're not going to be ashamed of this gospel, man. The Lord said that we would be brought before kings and governors, you know, as a testimony against them. So we know that this devil, once again, the dragon is going to make war with a remnant of her seed that keep the commandments and have the testimony of Yahweh Shai. That's what we're expecting, because this testimony is against this devil. They testify against him in his kingdom. All right, and against 2/3 of our own people. Okay, but hey, we got the power and spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai protecting us, man. The Lord, He's in the heavens, making intercession for us, man, to keep us from the evil. So anyway, I'm gonna end it right there. I'm gonna give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Lord willing, this was edifying. And until the next lesson, Shalom.